the Live Cure Die podcast. It's Jordan and myself again.
You did.
We got it's a Wednesday afternoon. We said we got some shit to talk about. So we go over fighting animals, wrestling them, Gator Wrestling. Talk about Chicken Joe trying to show us the goods. First time we saw a tit, and some negligent discharges. We're solving the world's problems over here. So stick around, put the chickens in the coop, as I say, and grab a fucking something. Grab a handful and sit down and watch this shit. What was the dude that picked up the Miniix and he was like kind of heavy for what was it?
Where were we? That
I don't remember. I might not have been there. I don't know.
Was it at Goals?
Oh, it could have been.
Yeah, a guy walks up. He goes, "Oh, y'all make a 3 in a blackout? Nice. It's pretty heavy for a little bolt gun."
Yeah, that's right, a little bolt gun.
And I
just walked the fuck away.
I just looked at him and I was like, in my head, I was like, "I'll give you $10,000
yeah, go
if you can."
it.
Like,
yeah, people are. I don't know. You can't please anybody. We just kind of hinted at it before we started rolling, but like, you've got those meta glasses that record fucking everything.
Yeah,
and just like, if people honestly, it would be like, you know how.
Ooh.
It'd be like a recruiting thing for the military where they're like, look at all the cool shit you can do. This would be kind of like don't join the fucking gun industry.
Well, you remember this guy.
Oh my God, I just talked about him the other day. I like held up a honey badger to my
we were at
it was Vegas.
Vegas. We were at Freedom Firearms, and we're doing our things behind the counter, slinging guns and silencers, talking to the people, kissing babies and their women's and all this stuff. And then this guy, I don't want to talk shit because he bought a gun.
Yeah,
but
he's a nice guy.
he picks up the honey badger and he's like, "Oh, this has literally the best trigger or whatever." Like, yeah. So he picks it up, brings the trigger to his ear like this. Yeah, that's a nice trigger.
Good engineering.
And I looked at him. I looked at Jay and I was like, "Am I missing something here?"
He did it like 3 times.
He did it.
Hey, feel the reset. Click it in.
Yeah,
good engineering.
That's
good engineering.
I was like, "Damn."
He knows something.
You know what? Like
we
were talking shit. What if like he actually could hear like?
Oh yeah, that
something.
Dude, for all we know, that dude has pulled every trigger ever.
Exactly.
Thousands of times. Because there's like, I just watched this video about Wesley and Richards or whatever, the English gun company that make like shotguns and rifles, super expensive ones, and the ejectors on the double barreled shotguns. The guy that makes them all, he can drop they put 2 dummies in, he'll drop the barrels and they eject, and he dropped them and he's like, they looked like they came at the same time. He's like, I can tell you they're not close enough. And then he like did whatever. He made them actuate and he could hear the sound. He's like, listen, you'll hear him go off. And it was like a tick, tick. Like he could just tell by seeing the ejection pattern, and then he proved it or whatever. But it's like, we can do certain things like that people probably, like we see someone shoot a honey badger and we can see where it's ejected. We know if it's over gas or whatever. But so that dude could be onto something.
Yeah, I don't know what he hears. We need to get him.
I've been trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we got to get him on board Q for testing or something, because he.
Good trigger.
Yeah, it's a perfect trigger. Yeah, that's a good trigger. Is it actually the best trigger ever made? Like, how do we put a?
Yeah, it's like hard to quantify.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like.
I think it is like.
What do people want out of an AR trigger? I guess.
Yeah, like I think before Q, I was and still am like Geisley guy. I love the SSAE or the Super Dynamic 3-gun trigger was like my 2 favorite triggers. And then I came into the Q trigger and I was like, oh, this thing it takes some getting used to.
Yes, I tell everyone that.
But once you get used to it, like you probably will never go back to a Geisley.
Yeah, I always try to make sure that people, when we're at events and stuff, I try to make sure people feel the reset.
Yep.
Because if you don't actively do it, you will miss it every time, and you'll think it's either not resetting or whatever.
Also, I take for granted, like, for playing with our guns for so long, like the ability to put the gun on safe while the hammer is up. Like when I go to a gun store and I can't help it, I dry fire and I'm like, oh, I want this.
There was a guy, I don't know if you remember. Actually, I don't know if you were here yet. I think we were still in Portsmouth, and the trigger had just come out, or we had done a video on it, and we showed that the trigger, it was a feature that you could throw it back on safe.
Yep.
And this guy sent in an email to customer service, and he was like, "You're going to get people killed. Operators will never use this. Like people being able or not being able to throw the safety on is a way that you can tell the status of your gun. Like, I will never buy this until operators can use it," and blah, blah, blah. And I responded to the guy, and I literally just said, "Man, we appreciate you writing. Like, you're going to be super bummed out when you find out about the 416.
Yeah.
Like, operators aren't going to use it. They've been using the 416 for 25 years.
Tell that
before.
to like all the tons of people that are no longer here because of 416.
Yeah, he was so mad. It was a weird, and that wasn't like a design intention. It was just a feature of how the design came.
It makes you think about like all the like common misconceptions about firearms and like what people think they can and can't do. Do you remember there was a guy, he was a black guy. I don't know, I think he's part of some like militia thing, but he had an old, I think he just had an M16. Or no, what happened was he had a march, whatever, and they had an ND and somebody got shot. And he kind of did like a tabletop, just sitting there like, reviewing the events from that weekend. And he had locked the bolt to his AR back to the rear. And if you smack the butt hard enough, it'll make the bolt go home. And he was like, boom, you just had a negligent discharge. Yeah. You just killed somebody. Yeah. He was like, every day in Marine boot camp, somebody gets shot like this, and you get a crisply folded flag. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
That's not how that works.
There was a guy early on, same exact thing with the bolt going home. We hit the buttstock. A guy did a sugar weasel review, and he was pretty good about it. He didn't say anything bad about the sugar. He liked it. He said that the only negative was that he's like, for the price that I paid, he was like, well, watch this. Locks bolt back and then hits the butt of the stock on a picnic table, and the bolt goes home. And he's like, I just don't think that like that's safe or XYZ or whatever. And it's just like, if you don't know, that looks jarring. You're like, whoa, that's crazy. Yeah. But it's just like, that's just kind of how springs work. Like,
oftentimes I have to remind myself that like our customers vary, right? Like, for the most experienced customer who has done all the things with guns, to the guy who's picked up his first gun, potentially could be a honey badger or a sugar weasel or a fix. So you have to be able to like explain and market to, him and this guy and everybody in between.
Talking about the trigger at least. So you were a guy's a guy. I liked, for a long time, I liked single stage triggers, and this one is not. How do you, like, what's the biggest comparison to the other triggers that you can think of? And before you answer, the one that I always say is reset. Obviously, like the Geisleys, the LGs, there's that like super tactile and audible reset. Yep. Ours obviously doesn't have that. But what are like comparisons that you can think of with ours?
So for me, like I need a crisp but like repeatable trigger. Like that's one thing I feel like people don't talk about a lot. Like when I squeeze through the wall and I crank a shot off, like is it gonna feel the same way every single time? I prefer 2-stage triggers 8 out of 10 times. Yeah. The 3-gun trigger from Geisley is my only single stage trigger I'll use when I'm just trying to shoot as fast as possible. Yeah. But the cool thing with our trigger is like I feel like I get the single stage and I get the 2-stage. I can shoot super fast. Like I don't really care about accuracy. I just want to shoot as fast as I can. Like I'm shooting a match, a 2-gun match or something. Or when I'll go a little precise and I want to like take my time. Like for me, that's really what makes our trigger so special is that I can shoot fast with it. I can also shoot soft and precise and like when I'm like really want to focus. But I think like the biggest, that Geisley SSAE, like the SSA is good, but the SSAE is a little bit better. Like I think that's a direct somewhat comparison to our trigger. Yeah. But I think when you put them on paper side by side and like feature for feature, like it doesn't compete with our trigger.
I agree. Yeah. Also, like even just ease of installation. Like a true drop in. You just knock 2 pins out and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Before we sat down, someone gave me a telegram, or a cryptic message that they wanted me to read. So this is for both of us. And it says, "The world has come to an end. Every man for himself. What's in your kit and why?" So it says survival kit, but just, your kit in general. And now I want to set.
Yeah, I need more. I need more here.
Yeah, I want to set the scene because it's not some zombie bullshit. I think it's like the most realistic one that I see happening outside of like some like cyber security shit that I don't know enough about. Even if there was like we just had an earthquake recently here that we actually felt for the first time. It was kind of crazy.
Really? When was this?
It was right before we moved up.
Huh.
We thought a truck was in the building basically, but there was like a 3-point something couple miles from here.
At home in Atlanta, in Gwinnett, where I just moved from, they felt an earthquake Sunday, I think.
Damn, yeah, we just had our the first one that I've actually felt. It shook the actual building. So in my mind, it's like a natural disaster like that happens, like a big earthquake or some bridges are out. Like you can't get, like we all live, New England's close, but like you can't get food, like that kind of shit. Like everyone's just kind of, people are going to freak the fuck out. Like when there's a big snowstorm coming, everyone empties out the fucking Hannaford and shit. So that's the thing that I'm thinking. But it would be some sort of collapse like that where it's like we're not getting the resources that we're used to getting. Communication is hard, if possible at all. And like you don't know if people aren't zombies, but you don't know if they're necessarily helping
friendly
you
or not.
Yeah. What is gear you must have?
I think first I'll break it down like this. Gun wise, it would probably be a 308 fix with probably a trash panda or a thunder chicken.
Yep.
Like 308 will be, I could find it pretty much anywhere. Yeah. We're finding reloading components anywhere. So I could shoot a whitetail with it. I could shoot a person with it potentially.
Smart.
I could shoot I feel like any animal in North America I could shoot with 308 if I had to. Yeah. So it'd probably be a fix in 16-inch 308 fix. Go back to
if assuming the 308 boombox was out, would you take that over a fix or would you still use a fix?
I'll probably still go fix. Yeah, probably mess me up with that one. I'll probably still go fix just because how versatile it is.
Yeah.
And
you're conserving your ammo.
Ammo. It'll probably be folding stock, something I could put in a pack. I could walk far with. I really only need one mag. Mm-hmm. I don't need if I brought a gas gun, I would be tempted to bring 3 or 4 mags of ammo. I could just bring maybe 1 or 2 10-round mags and I'll be fine. And then it'd probably be a Glock 17 or something I could do city work with, or if I had to do something close. But ideally, I wouldn't want to be moving. I wouldn't want to be. I think people look at post world stuff a little, not realistic.
No.
I'm gonna be trying to.
Yeah, why are you trying to get in a gunfight?
Me and my family are gonna be go to the woods somewhere, find a cabin.
Yeah.
And hopefully stay there until we hear something else has happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, fixed 308, probably a Glock 17, all of that stuff I could find mags for, I could find ammo for
sure.
Or I could make it, reload it myself. Mm-hmm. Good knife, which I'm not a huge knife guy.
Yeah.
But in a world like that, a knife would be very, very, very
for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Useful. And then more importantly, just as long as my family was okay, if I had my family with me, I probably could figure the rest out. I feel like my family is so multi, they all have their own talents. So my mom could provide the medical stuff, and then me and the boys could do man shit, I guess. But I would try to just sit somewhere in the middle of nowhere and avoid other human beings would be my number one goal, is avoid other human beings.
That's always a thing that I'm curious about in these end of world scenarios. It's do you try to group up with other people, or do you try to avoid people? And I lean toward what you're saying.
I think it has to be avoid people. Also, like when you think about like scarcity, like people started doing weird things when.
Dude, people
think about COVID.
Yeah,
like, I was living in the city during COVID, and I remember like going to Walmart and watching people like damn near kill each other over toilet paper.
Yeah,
like that was blew my mind. Like toilet paper, bro. Like
you can do other things.
There's a way to wash your butt without toilet paper.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to like what the water, all the other stuff, but So think about a world where the trucks aren't running, the trains aren't running, planes aren't flying, supplies aren't being resupplied. Like you got a bunch of people start doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing that's maybe controversial that I would struggle with not having, well, depends on what point of my life, like, is some type of like companion of the opposite sex. Like, I don't think I could. I'd rather just not be alive than not have the ability to be with somebody that can do things that I can't.
I was just going to say, like, you looking for emotional support, or you got 2 hands?
Yeah, I would rather just not be here than.
I've never even considered that, but I mean, it's a real consideration.
But I look at like I'm watching The Last of Us right now. That season 2, and like Ellie has a companion. But like I would just rather just not, like, if I didn't have that, I'd rather just not be here. What are you living for?
It's what also, are you living for every day? It's also very easy to just call it quits in that scenario.
But like think about it. Like right now, you live for something every day. You have a job, you have family, responsibilities.
Yeah. At that point,
in that world, what do you have to live for? I mean, I don't have kids. You don't have kids.
Nope.
Like,
that's a good point.
Just get up out of here.
That's a good point.
Go to a place where it's safe.
I guess. Well, so I wonder, like, in that scenario, I'm thinking like, I got nothing to live for. Do I become the baddie? Do I just start fucking with everybody else, or trying to? Because it's like, worst case, they kill me, whatever.
Nah, but then like I feel like in that world, like who you are as a person, it's just gonna come out even more.
Right.
So if you were a piece of shit human being, like when society was a thing, you're gonna be the evil guy, you know.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that, because I remember like when during COVID and people were buying all these groceries and stuff, and I remember I made a comment to my grandma. She was, we're talking like, she was like, you need to go stock up or whatever. And I was like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll just take my neighbor's shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, they buying groceries for me. Like, and she was like, don't say that. Yeah. And I was like, listen.
Well, that's like you see all the guys with like 15 of the same AR and shit. And it's like, you're flexing that, bro. One, there's two schools of thought. One, you just have more shit for me to take. And two, I see those same people talk about like, oh, I can't afford a Q gun. Well, you have 7 BCMs, 4 Daniel Defense. Like, yeah, you can. You just spent it on a bunch of other shit.
What would yours be?
For this, initially, so the 308 made me kind of rethink my answer on that primary weapon system. I'm definitely not trying to get in gunfights. That's for sure a thing. I'm trying to get the fuck away from everything. I initially was going to say a 13-inch Sugar Weasel, because there's parts for them everywhere.
Very, very versatile.
Yeah, it's small enough that if I had like a big coat or something, I could hide it. It's light as shit. It's in a common caliber, 5.56. Not only like if I need to get ammo, but say something happened to the gun, it's pretty mil-spec to the point where I can find replacement parts or whatever.
See, I was thinking like 20-inch potential Sugar Weasel or something. Or like 24-inch,
55 grain,
because then it just turns everything into like AP.
That's not a bad idea.
Like you don't make that like a 24-inch 5.56 Sugar Weasel.
That'd be pretty crazy.
I can pick up MA-55, like just ball ammo,
and
M193,
no problems anymore.
And
because that was the other thing when you said the 308. I'm like, well, fuck yeah. What if I'm trying to hunt and it's kind of far? But then again, I live here. I know how to hunt here. I've hunted here my whole life. I've shot shit in Africa with 223 out of a 13-inch barrel, so I'm like, I could shoot a whitetail with it.
Yeah.
But so that was my initial. I like the idea of the fix, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I could, in the event that I needed to, I could trade like my neighbor for a gas tube or some gas rings or something.
Just take it.
That's the other thing. Go knock on White Birch's door or something real quick. I need a gas tube.
Hey,
for regardless of whether I went with a big gun that I can't hide in any way, shape, or form, or that more compact, ideally try to hide, I would still, after that, I would take a Glock 19 because I can put it anywhere between my butt cheeks, fucking in my boot, whatever. That you can hide. Like that's what, and that's like you said, less for the social work.
Yep.
And then the sugar weasels for other stuff, ideally. I agree with the knife. I would choose like I'd have to have multiple knives, I think, because like even on a daily basis, I carry 2 knives. One for like if I don't have utensils or something like that's food safe that I don't like cut into fucking boxes and animals and shit with, and one that I do what general purpose stuff with. But so yeah, some sort of sick fixed blade. Maybe someone will send us survival knives now.
Yeah, we need,
because I don't know what kind. I'm not. Yeah, we need one.
Yeah, I'm honestly not a knife guy in general. I never carry a knife.
Yeah.
The last good knife that I had, I left it in my bag and TSA took.
There you go.
So
yeah,
I was trying to open a box today and
yeah,
I just like
use your
ripped
keys.
I just ripped it apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have my big coat. I'd have some bean boots. I love bean boots. I can wear them year long, not the insulated ones.
I do want a pair of, I was just talking about that other day. I want a pair of bean boots. I feel like that would like truly solidify my New England like heritage.
There's an outlet in North Conway.
Yeah.
I mean, or you just go to Freeport.
Like I'm already rocking the Berkey Workies.
Oh yeah.
That's what I call them.
Yeah, you're up here. I do have a water bottle with a life straw in it. And thinking about it right now, it would be smart because you brought up water before. I grew up drinking off a well, and we had to have, like, my house had to have a filtration system because the water here is super hard.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, you can find clean water, but like just to be safe might be better to, because water is the biggest thing. Water, shelter, fire. I can get food. I can cut my toes off, start eating those or something. But nudie mags. There's actually, if I'm in my local area, there's 2 trees in the woods near a family member's house that might still have some buried under the next to the tree.
That you buried?
Yeah, me and my cousins in the summertime bury them in the woods. We didn't couldn't just hop on the hub when I was little.
Do you remember the first time like you stumbled across like a nudie magazine or something?
I remember the first time for that, like seeing a boob, and also the first time seeing.
What was the first time you seen a boob?
It was my uncle. It was my uncle's Playboy.
Mm.
He had him in the bathroom. I didn't know, like, I just stumbled upon it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I look, I'm like, oh, no way.
I was watching
I was stoked.
Swordfish.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Halle Berry. Was it Halle Berry? Yeah.
Yeah.
She was laying out. She's suntanning.
Yeah.
And they show her titties. And I'd never been a youngin'.
Yeah.
And I don't know what those 2 things are.
Yeah.
I don't know who put them there. But that's what I like.
When I opened the, I got like a funny feeling in my stomach, like this is.
Yeah, I was like, and then
what is that?
I remember the first time I found like my cousin's cousin or uncle, one or two, like magazine. I was like, found it up under the sofa.
Yeah,
I slid it up, and I was and I got caught looking at it, and she was like, "You better not. Why would you?" And I grew up in like the South, so like. Went to church and like that. It was not going for that, and they just put it back up under the couch. But they didn't take it. Yeah. So when they just weren't there. So
I think about that sometimes, like just in general. That I mean, we've talked about it in the shop, but like that age of just like figuring it out is crazy, and you're susceptible to some shit.
Well, also like you're at that age too, or probably that like range, like. Your brain, you're learning so much, and like you can be molded into thinking anything.
Yeah,
like it's interesting how most people came into liking or not liking titties because
it's kind of like we talked about on the last podcast. Like it's kind of like the rut, but it's like a couple of years of the rut where it's just like you're dumb as fuck, and
weird hormone levels. Yeah,
dude, I would stay up so late to just get like in between channels to get a glimpse of a censored boob on Girls Gone Wild commercials.
I used to watch the HBO. Showing how freaked out HBO had like it was a TV show about like it was like a brothel in Vegas. I can't think of what it was called. But
was it about the Bunny Ranch?
That's exactly what it was. And I would basically like this is when like TVs had like you could hit the I think TV still do it, but had the last button.
Yes.
So I would like go to like Nickelodeon, right?
And if you hear something,
I hear my mom checking there. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm just watching SpongeBob. I'm geeked in them. I'm turned up. Like
you're all lightheaded because all these fucking shit.
Why are you looking like that? SpongeBob is hilarious.
Yeah. Just the dumbest shit. I remember like the magazine thing. Like in the summertime, my cousin lived up the street from me. We're the same age. And so once we found out that my uncle didn't give a fuck, he just had piles of Playboy in the bathroom, we would go like deep in the stack, grab one or two, and fucking sprint out of the house and run into the woods, and we would bury them by a tree so that like no matter, we're playing in the fucking woods, we'd go find the tree.
Playing in the woods.
But then like I think about it and it's like when you're 11, 12 years old, you're just like, I think about it with me and my cousin, like we're looking at this magazine together. You're just standing there getting hard with your buddy. Like no one's doing shit about it. You're just like,
but
whoa.
In that world, it was like awesome. Now you'd be like, hell no, I'm not going out.
We're not
to
going to go
that.
fucking. Like,
you're not going to go just get all worked up together. Like what? It's weird because like I consider myself a strip club connoisseur.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not.
I love strip clubs from Atlanta. This is what we do. We go to strip clubs on the weekend. And that's pretty much like what a strip club is. You just but that's what they say. But it's not really that. That's not true. Like I saw Cam Newton play for the Panthers said a quote. He was like, "I don't go to strip clubs for the girls. I go for my guys." And it sounded weird. That was like a hell of a quote. But I understood what he said. Being from Atlanta, it's where we go with the boys. We sit. We order drinks.
Yeah.
It just happens to be women that are totally out of our range that we could ever get with, are walking around absolutely naked.
Right.
But
yeah, I get that. I mean, when I was in tech school in the military, I was in Wichita Falls, Texas, and respectfully, it's a little fucking shithole.
Yeah.
So anyone that lives in Wichita Falls, sorry.
This is not an attack on
yeah,
you.
there's just not shit to do, especially when you're in fucking tech school. Like in the middle, you just get out of basic, and you're scared of everything that's an E5 and up, and scared of your own shadow, whatever the fuck. But so we would go to this, what the fuck was it called? Maximus on the weekends. It was like there's a Texas Roadhouse, and this place, there were two strip clubs, Texas Showgirls and Maximus. We'd go to Maximus because we're like, this is the nice one.
Yeah.
And we would go there, and my whole thing was and I think it's because I saw Rob Dyrdek do it on Rob and Big back in the day, is he got $500 out for a bet that he had, but he got it in singles. And I went and was like, I know I'm not going to spend money. None of us wanted to go there. It just was the only thing to do. And these girls were not. If you're a stripper in Wichita Falls, Texas at Maximus, I'm sure you're a beautiful girl. At the time, they were not. And so we would go. It's just something to do.
Since.
Fuck, man. It would just be, it was sad almost. And I get this thing where if I'm in one, I start tripping out and I look around and I see the guys that I know are regulars, the gnarly old dude that goes and gets lunch there.
Some of the best things to look at is people watching the strip club. You see some of the guys just.
But then it gets to my head and I'm like, well, fuck, me looking the way I do. I wonder if anyone's that guy's a fucking regular here or whatever. So I start tripping out about that. But I would pay my cover charge. I would buy one ginger ale, but I would have wads of cat, just bricks of singles. So security would look and see it, and they'd be like, he's spending money, he's fine.
Yeah,
we're not, we'll leave him alone. I wouldn't spend a fucking dime.
So when I go to the strip clubs at home, my boy Ben, shout out to Ben, and we go to clubs, but it's Jordan, you're back. Because I have a bad habit of also spending way more money than I should in a strip club.
Yeah.
But so if I go in here, they're all friends of me, and we just hang out. And I normally have 8 girls sitting by me and having conversations with all of them. And then my boys, then I get to bring my homies that don't know about never been to strip clubs, so they get to have a good time.
Yeah.
But I have a good time seeing my homies have a good time.
That makes sense.
It's just I could look at titties in between the time. I'm not gonna complain about that.
No, you can't be mad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some interesting strip club experiences with Kevin.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that. There's been some interesting Q strip club experiences in general.
Yeah, we went to a club in Vegas, at Shot Show 2023, probably 2022 maybe. And as soon as we get in, I see Kevin being Kevin, and he goes to the back with one of our engineers, and they pull me back there, and we're back there in this room. And it's like all these girls are dancing or whatever, and I look over, and Kevin's like this.
Just completely asleep.
Absolutely asleep. I was like, how are you asleep right now?
Give a shit.
There is so much to look and feel in this room right now. And he's just.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That might have been the same year when we were at SHOT Show. We shared a room, and it was the night of the cry party. So it was a Wednesday night.
Oh, we did share a room.
And we got split up. I got back because I went to the Field Ethos party. I think I had COVID, so I didn't feel good, or like second COVID or some shit. And I'm like, fuck, I'm getting sick. I'm going to go home. And everyone went to the club, whatever. And you came home at 4, and I think it was like 4, and you were fucking spinning circles. You just were having bad luck with everything. You bumped into some shit, like stubbed your toe, and then you like dropped an AirPod.
I do remember that, and I couldn't find it, and I was looking for it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
When it hit the ground, I thought it bounced in a certain area, and I didn't want to cut the lights on, but then I screamed fuck, so I probably woke you up.
I had my back to you, and I was just giggling because I'm like, he's fucked up for sure. But yeah, it was good. You composed, and you were up early for a meeting the next day.
That's one thing I will give myself credit.
Meetings.
Like, that's why I don't really do that now. But I go to SHOT, I party, but I'm normally like the first person at the booth or the first person from Q at the show floor. I'm present and alive in meetings, and do it all over again the next night. So
yeah, SHOT is hard for me. I'm not a drinker, not a smoker, not a nothing, and like even just staying up past fucking 1 a.m, I feel it the next day for sure.
So like most people, like probably people who are listening don't get to like go to SHOT,
right?
Or,
that's
I don't
right.
know. I wonder how many people who listen to our podcast actually are able to attend SHOT, but for those who didn't attend, like, was there anything you saw at SHOT this year that was like, damn, that's kind of cool? So did you any cool experiences from SHOT? Anything SHOT? I
spent a lot because this year was the first year that we had a proper booth at SHOT Show.
Yep.
So I spent a lot of time at the booth. I had a couple meetings. I think the big things that came out were like the Koa Acro Glock thing. I saw Geisley's rifle, their bolt gun, which like to me is cool. Like
Giselle.
Yeah, exactly. Ron Spomer's like,
shout out to Ron.
Yeah, he's like, who's
Ron and Tate?
Who's Giselle? He's like, I've never heard of him.
Never heard of him. It feels like a mighty fine rifle.
Yeah. Ron Spomer's the best.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
And then he caught a bunch of heat for that. People were like, you don't know who Geisley is? And he's like, fucking, why do I need to?
Yeah.
Not necessarily something that I thought was cool, but one thing I noticed a shitload of was these like folding everything, like folding ARs, like folding lever gun AR. There's the fold AR, like the folder.
Yep.
Like I kept seeing that, and it's interesting because we tote our folding stock so heavy and that like being compact, but sometimes you see things and like it's almost like they just did it to do it.
Well, like folding guns are just cool. Or let me take that back. People think folding guns are cool.
Yeah.
Which in some capacity they are. Like a done properly, but like does like the gun need to fold down the middle?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I mean, it's cool you get a 16-inch barrel gun in that little bag, but like also like is this the same one I'm used to seeing? Yeah. Also it's like super like you got to be strong to put it back on.
Fuck yeah.
What silencer is that? Oh. Yeah, come on. You could have been deployed the two position stock by now. Like Yaga.
See, like I can understand that not for a rapid deployment, but like say we're talking about the end of days or you're doing this clandestine thing where you're just going from a location to a spot that you're whatever strong pointing or whatever, and it's like I got there discreetly. Now that I'm in, I have the time to set up and do it. Like sure, but I do think. So because it's funny because I was going to ask you about things that you see in the industry that you think are innovative? And for me, it's hard to find things like thinking about it that's true innovation. Like doing a lever action AR-15 is not innovation to me.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe I should probably look up the word of innovation or the definition of innovation, but I think of innovation as like doing something new that is an improvement and is the next thing, not just doing something different just to be different.
Yeah, I know. Like, especially working from Q, like working here, like if I was working retail, I probably would have had a totally different answer for you. Like the latest, greatest thing I thought was probably the most innovative thing. I think that 7 backcountry is pretty innovative.
Yep.
It'd be cool. Like, I'm not super interested in 7 backcountry per se as a cartridge.
Yeah.
Like
30 cal would be cool.
But like,
The
what they're
potential.
able to expand that like peak alloy case into other calibers, like you give me a 223, 556
Fuck yeah.
peak alloy, or like a 308 peak alloy, or 300. I don't know. Like just being able to expand that, or 300 blackout would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like the 7 backcountry was pretty innovative. I'm we're looking at it in the Megafix, so like it'd be cool to see like when the Megafix is out, like how would that perform in there. But I think that's pretty cool. But all like the ammo stuff, but I'm more like process based stuff right now. Like I think like Silencer Shop, like and how they process forms is pretty innovative. They're probably one of the most, I think Kevin has said it, but they're probably one of the most innovative companies in our industry. Like they did something that most people never really thought about, and now make silencers widely available. What is this video?
Here? We're about to watch a fucking
like a big ass something.
That'd be a Kudu. What the fuck?
What? Oh. Ooh.
I'm so confused.
I'm assuming it. So that's a Kudu bull.
Oh, they must have tranquilized it, right? Before?
A monster Kudu bull number 1.
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
That's a monster Kudu bull number 1.
Holy fuck. Did she
Also, like where's her backup? Was there no, like I see the person, there's somebody flying a helicopter, obviously.
We ain't doing shit up there.
Yeah, I'd have been like, hold up. I think about it like, you want me to go do what?
Yeah.
By myself?
It's one thing to see them when they like net gun them and shit, or like deer or whatever, but that's crazy. And why? First of all, what is happening? Like, why is she
I think it has
arresting
to,
this guy?
I found a lady who tackled the Kudu bull. You do good things. Go, you biscuit.
Alicia Boyens? She must be a biologist.
Can you click on her profile, Tommy?
She must be like a biologist. And also, going hand in hand with the Kudu is not. You think about like Cape Buffalo and shit. I still don't want to go hand in hand with a Kudu, so I'm gonna carry the fix. I'm gonna carry. Whoa, shit!
Yeah, hello.
That looks like JJ. What the fuck? What's he doing out there?
I'm not into like wrestling things.
I am.
I like shooting.
I want to wrestle a gator on land really bad, like supervised.
I don't know if you're fucking with me or not.
I swear to God. And
you said supervised?
Yeah, like go to like a gator wrestling school. Like I'm not just picking on a random gator.
What?
Yeah, they got like gator wrestling schools. I know there's one in Colorado. I think
you can't wrestle a gator.
100%. You just push on its stupid fucking head.
Okay. A gator.
Don't stand in front of it. Get behind that fucker. Jump on him. Push his head down.
What's the thing? What if it does that little roll thing?
I'm fucked. See, like that kind of shit. Look at him. You just.
Man.
I'm just saying, like, I watched like Steve Irwin when I was a kid, like push their heads in the ground and shit.
Remember what I said? Last episode?
White people shit.
That's some. Listen. I love all of y'all. That's some white people shit. I'm not fucking with no alligator
on land. No, I'm not. Like these are big fucking alligators. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, T Mike. Get
Look
that
at
motherfucker.
I'm from Ponchatoula, Louisiana.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he in the.
Yes, you are. No, I'm not doing that.
What's the?
I'm not doing that stupid shit.
See, like,
bro, and he's not Reggie Bush, dude. He's a big boy.
You get one mistake,
for sure.
And probably the worst, like the best outcome, you lose a limb. Like
Probably, yeah. They get it and twist your shit.
yeah, the best outcome is you lose a limb.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a smaller one that like it'll fuck you up still, but there's a little bigger margin of error.
Yeah, I'd rather just like shoot one from like a
I wanna
boat
shoot one
or
too, for
something.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking shooting him all day, dude.
Look at him.
I'm gonna punch.
No,
your
I ain't gonna lie.
fucking-
You got my dog in a. I'll square up with a.
He said, "I'm gonna punch your fucking head in."
Yeah, what's up? What's up, cuz?
This punch, not
Put
it.
your hands up. Yeah.
This punch. Hey.
Yeah, nah.
He said,
We gotta get in
"Stop
contact
it."
with him.
Yeah. He said, "Stop it."
He said, "Stop."
Yeah.
Let
he said,
that
He said,
dog
He
go.
wasn't sure if he wanted to.
I'd have been like, what?
The only thing you gotta watch out though is that they rear back on their tail and
And they-
kick you. They got
Mm.
fucking talons and
Yeah.
shit. They'll fuck your shit up. There's a guy, Chicken Joe in Wells, Maine. Anyone from Maine knows about Chicken Joe. He used to have ostriches at his house, and he lived in the parking lot of fucking Hannaford. As a supermarket that we have. Thomas knows Chicken Joe. Well, I don't know if you know him, but you know what I'm talking about. The ostriches at fucking.
Oh fuck yeah!
Hannaford.
I know Chicken Joe. Hey.
So the
Chicken
weird-
Joe.
So yeah, so he had 2 ostriches, and he used to breed Pomeranians, which I don't. He probably did it himself. He was a
This
weird
sounds
dude.
even
Guy's
weird.
fucking strange. He had like eyeliner tattooed on his face and shit. And we used to ride our bikes around, fucking go see the ostriches. Any chance this is now that I'm an adult, it's a little strange, but any chance he got, he would always show us the fucking scar he got from an ostrich. It was just an
Now that I'm an
Bro,
adult,
it
this
was
is weird.
Bro, he's like, you got the ostrich will get you. He didn't really have an accent, but I'm gonna fucking give him. And he's like, you want to see my scar? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. And he pulled his pants down, but he got one of the ostriches kicked him in the leg, like thigh. Bro, he had like it looked like someone hit him with a fucking longsword, dude. It was fucked. I don't know how he lived.
So think about that, right? Like these animals are like we're not designed to go into hand-to-hand combat with humans.
Yeah.
So like people think you can wrestle
That's
an
true.
alligator. Like,
like they're taking
you're-
down hippo or like big ass animals and shit.
Yeah, like these things were not designed to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in super, like I want to wrestle an animal that like a gator that's been lived in captivity its whole life at the Gator Wrestling School. It's probably a little more tame. I have more of a chance. I just want to see what it feels like.
Like I think like I love dogs, but like
Yeah.
if a average sized dog like was dedicated to hurt you, would you win potentially? Probably.
Yeah, but
But
you
you
gotta
would
do
be
some.
fucked
You
up.
gotta do some shit you don't want to do. Like
Yeah, but I mean a dog can like
Yeah.
30-pound dog could get a hold of you and really do some damage to you.
Yeah.
They could cause some serious pain. So
yeah,
you talking about an ostrich or
I'll fuck an
Or-
alligator up on land, bro.
no? You can't.
like
Alligator
a big
does
one.
taste really good though. Fried alligator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lord, so a little ketchup and hot sauce.
Yeah, I would
Fried
definitely
alligator
do that.
sandwich.
I would try that. I think.
I do feel like I could take a whitetail
Well, if I'm
as
hitting
long
them
as I
up-
can get behind it and
Yeah.
don't get.
Yeah, if you can grab the fucking
Impaled.
horns, like I've seen guys like the cowboys that jump off the horse and they grab the bull by
Yeah.
the horns and sit next to it or whatever. I think I could do that, but especially if they're in velvet and they're not pointy and they're just like
Yeah, I be scared I slip off.
that's true. Yeah. Was that a doe?
Oh,
That's gonna be me in 2 days.
I'm
Get
more
up,
interested
bro.
in my guy at the bottom of the screen. Damn. Hey, now
That's kind of
bruh,
crazy, but you got to get up.
Yeah, get
Grab
up
that
now.
fucking thing. That thing weighs 75
Yeah,
pounds.
now you and I'm assuming that was his family. Ain't no
Yeah.
way I'd have got embarrassed like that
Yeah,
in front of my
daughter's gonna-
woman.
my daughter's gonna
I'd have
hit
never
the
got.
fucking-
I'd have never went out like that. I'd have absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, that's like ferocious and pretty surprising of the deer, but also that's a small ass deer, and you got to grab onto it and
Yeah, I would've
and
never went
go
out like
drown
that.
it because
Yeah. Yeah, I took that boy out to sea.
yeah. I've seen some videos of like big bucks attacking people, and you're kind of fucked. You catch
Yeah,
a,
don't
you catch an
wanna-
antler, you're
Yeah.
you better. Yeah, well, a topic was just brought up to us at one point. Now, knock on wood. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of people say, you ride motorcycles long enough, you're going to crash a motorcycle. I've done that. They say you do anything long enough, you're going to have a bad time. People say if you are around guns long enough, you're going to have an ND. Knock on wood,
Yeah.
I haven't had a true ND. I've been present for one,
Yep.
real close to one, but I've not had my own. Have you? ND'd and or been a part of an ND before?
I've actually watched an ND happen, and it was a Q gun, actually.
Oh.
I wasn't actually working at Q. So when Q dropped the trigger, literally best trigger ever made, guy came in, he had a Geisley in it. He had the upper and lower separated, but he had a round in the chamber. But he had the upper and lower separate. And so...
Okay. Completely separate or just pins popped? Okay.
Completely separate. Like the spring was hanging out of the upper.
Yeah.
Like completely separate.
Yeah.
My boy Ben, probably going to be pissed I'm telling the story, was like, oh yeah, I'll swap your lower for you. I know you bought it from us. Knocks the trigger out, throws our trigger in. You know, it's trying it like without the upper on.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, cool. Puts the upper on, and he let it go. And it's crazy to say is there's a chance that like it. I don't know if I say that, but maybe I wouldn't have checked it because how it came in
right.
separate.
You think, yeah.
Like, but he put that thing, boom.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And were you like close to it?
I was on the other side of the store.
Yeah.
And so I was just like,
what was that? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that just happened.
Yeah. I was, it was not a Q gun. I was pretty young. I might have been like 13, 14 years old. And I was with a family friend and they had a Winchester Model 100, which is a semi-auto 308 old gun. Cool guns. Semi-auto 308. And he couldn't get the bolt back. Like he kept pulling on the charger. It's a side charger. Couldn't get it back. He's like, "You got any ideas?" And because when I was little, I was like a little gun nerd. I've always been into guns.
Yep.
And I know a little bit about old guns, a lot of old guns, and I couldn't think about it. And we're standing in a guest room. He had his guns in a little guest room. It's tiny, smaller than this room, like probably a third the size of this room. Like it fit a twin size bed and had a couple guns against the wall, like by the foot of the bed. It's tiny, and I'm thinking like 8 by 12. And he's fit where the bed is right here. We're standing next to the bed, and he's pointing it at the wall, and I'm right next to him. So the gun's fucking right in my face, facing this way. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know why I can't. Maybe pull the trigger, and then it'll, free something
So
up.
you gave him the
I was like, yeah, fuck, pull the trigger. And
idea.
He fucking took safety off, and boom, fucking, I don't know how long the barrel is, 22 inches, maybe 22 inches. But it was, the end of the barrel muzzle's like a foot and a half from my face. And it's a 308. Fucking touched that off, and my whole world fucking crumbled. And we obviously went through the fucking wall, we went outside and looked, and there was a hole in the wall. He's like, we gotta take a drive. Like, we gotta be here. And that's the closest I've gotten, and it was fucking scary.
Those moments is like what makes, in my opinion, like, and still it's like how I am with guns now. Like, say I pick a gun up, magazine now, I'm checking it. Like, gun safety is like is a part of like me as a human now. Yeah. Like most people get to like teach them gun safety.
For
and
sure.
Like you get taught it, whether you just get taught it from a book or like a video, or you get taught
accident.
it from like, and you just hope,
And the cool thing about,
luckily not to be
right,
die or something.
The cool thing about the kind of the gun safety laws is that if you break one, as long as you're doing the other ones, in theory, no one should get hurt.
Yep.
Because it's like, okay, say you pulled the trigger and the gun fucking went off, but it was pointed in a safe direction or, whatever. Yeah. Or something like that.
It's like when you break two.
Yeah, then that's when people get fucking hurt.
Dude, my guy right here is about to do. He already look like he in.
Is when you pull the hammer back, so this gun's totally loaded. You have to push down the hammer before you pull the trigger. And once you do that, it enables you to...
That's so fucking close to his face, dude.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anytime I see the videos where like somebody set the camera up,
yeah,
and
dude.
It's like, this is not going to end.
He also, like, whatever he was trying to explain, he didn't need to load it.
Correct. Yeah. Why'd you have to?
You could have done that unloaded.
You could have shown.
This is a great video.
One, this is one of the fun. This is a great video. Yeah.
This guy's reaction.
You're going to push with your right, pull with your left, focus on that front side tip. Now, if you want to, 44 Magnum, shooting single action.
Bro, this guy, right after this guy's reaction, when he goes, because someone's like, do you mean to do that? And he was like, yep. And this dude's like,
He he's trying to play it off like, oh yeah. He
Yeah.
100% shit his own
Oh my
pants.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Can you run that back? Why did he do that?
what you mean to do
And
that?
you also can tell he's trying to be the cool guy. He's trying to show.
Yeah.
He's trying to show off the big gun at the range. Also, does he?
When he
I'm
started,
assuming he
he was
works
like-
there. Like,
yeah, he's RSO.
he's like the
for
RSO,
sure.
which is even scarier. He's the one that's supposed to
Yeah.
be setting the safety standard in that range, and he.
Yeah.
You're going to push with your right, pull with your left, focus on that front sight tip. Now, if you want to, on this 44 Magnum, shooting single action.
He just put a big ass hole in the ceiling.
Immediately above him and completely ignores it.
Oh yeah, he doesn't play it off like it didn't happen.
Did you mean to do that? Yeah.
He's shaking like a motherfucker right now.
You can also see by like his kit, like his holster.
100%. He is the guy.
Yeah.
We call him the indie guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Now this one is actually, I think, an AD.
Okay.
I think I've seen this video. Let's see. Tell me what you think.
Like accidental.
Yeah, so
versus
accidental discharge.
negligent.
So like, there's an argument like if it is a such thing as like an AD, but like if the gun goes off and you didn't tell it to go off, like I can.
Yeah.
That's a thing
Yeah,
in the
like, this
industry
could
right
be a
now.
gun thing,
But like I think like I mean there are some guns that have had issues where gun goes off on their own. I think that's what happens here.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that could be the gun.
And I think if I watched the full video on that one, and they were like they talk about it. He was like, my finger was off the trigger.
You can see it riding. Well, you can before you could see his fingers riding down the side. So CZ. It looks like his finger goes
Yeah.
back in. Fuck.
knows?
Either way, like. But I mean, that's
But
another
hey,
example.
you keep
like,
the gun pointed in the safe
yeah.
direction. He didn't. Honestly, he had. If let's just say you had to play devil's advocate, he had his finger on the trigger, but he had the gun pointed in a safe direction.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, gun went off. Fucking sucks and it's weird
Right.
and awkward for everybody. And nobody trusts you with a gun anymore.
Exactly.
But he had the gun pointed in the safe direction, and
Yeah.
you know nobody caught a jacket or anything.
Yeah.
So.
That's a fucking bummer. But
And
I mean,
that was like a match.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he
'Cause
went home for the day.
Yeah, he went to do his shit and then he loaded
Yeah.
McReady.
Yeah,
he
he went
made
home
real
for the day.
fucking ready.
Yeah.
I've seen this one. That's a good
Yep.
one.
Once again, videoing. You set the camera up, video in
Yeah.
front, the camera in front of you.
Weapon has this cool feature.
That it shoots when you squeeze the trigger.
Slam fire.
Look, you can see the shell.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see the shell.
Everyone can watch it.
He just put a big ass hole in his
Oh my
grandma's.
God.
His grandma's.
That's the thing
ceiling.
that people don't like. That I think about it now, but like even at local ranges and shit. Like if you want to shoot a 44 mag or 500, like Smith & Wesson Magnum, whatever, the range will make you load every other cylinder first, because guys will clack two off and fucking smoke the ceiling.
Or I've seen like some people shooting a revolver and they go boom, and it's just so much recoil.
and it's right here.
And it's like right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And you got that now you got a super soft trigger. I mean,
You touch that other one, boom. But there's holes in the ceiling with fucking range.
hey, playing with guns, right? They're dangerous.
That's
So
cool.
we know that, but
Yeah.
just be safe.
Yeah, everybody needs to be safe.
Yeah.
Honestly, not only just for you, but like for us.
We want to keep making cool guns and
Yeah.
silencers. We want you guys to be able to still enjoy our cool guns and silencers. So be
Yeah,
safe.
and at range, like at the public range events and shit, we're not trying to get shot in the head. Neither are you. So
yeah. If you see me at any range day, please, the things we talked about today,
Yeah.
please implement
safe
those.
direction,
Yeah,
all that shit. Shit, but
type shit.
well, it's kind of it. We didn't get into too much tech talk, but this is just a fun one. This is
yeah,
a
a little
look at the internet. Yeah, a little
Wednesday afternoon conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope y'all got to enjoy it with us.
break. Yeah, hell yeah.
Kicking it with the boys.
Yeah, we're gonna do more of these. Obviously, we'll continue doing guests, and we'll do, as new things come out, we'll get into the details of.
Yeah, I think
This
I
is
just
what's
locked
going
in
on, but-
a solid guest for us.
Nice,
So, yeah.
nice,
Looking forward to having him up. That's my boy.
cool.
Yeah.
We got a couple boys coming in is one of the two boys who you're talking about for June. We got early the first week of June, like a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. Then we got those guys too. Yeah.
A dude who's just
My
a
boys.
heap of knowledge, and then the home.
Yeah. So, yeah, in the comments, like, throw what you want to hear us talk about. We can laugh, and we can all laugh together and watch together. If there's some funny videos or industry things you want to hear us cover, please drop it in the comments.
If there's a video of you and D'ing somewhere,
DM the Q page, and we will. If it is great, if it's a good one,
we won't even say your name. We will keep you, but like,
you know what we should do? Idea. We should have our, farm owners send DM the Q page, like a picture of your setup, your gun, whatever. And then you will rate the setup. We'll talk about the setup, talk about the optic, talk about the scope.
Yeah.
Make recommendations.
And we'll see if we can guess like what their
intended application.
Exactly. Their use case for that setup is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's the thing. So DM the Q page. I actually run it, so I'll see it.
Yeah.
And subscribe, or whatever the comment, share,
the bell thing now.
Tell your mom or your
sister,
hot sister.
What easy you say? The brother that'll smother your mother and make your sister think I love her.
I need that. Your sister's hot or your mom's hot. I'll be here.